making time is a subjective thing. It could be that I cancel something, therefore I have more time, or it could be simply that mentally I change my priorities so that I can now fit you into that. And I might be slightly annoyed, or maybe not. Maybe I feel happy to help you once you've explained how important it is, right? If I still can't, I still no. Do you have time? I'm sorry, I don't. I'm so busy today. Please. I'm sorry. I just can't make time. There are a lot of phrases that use the word time: save time, have time, make time, spend time, kill time, lose track of time, run out of time. What do they mean? What's the difference between them? We are going to do a lightning fast overview of these so that you basically understand what they mean and how you can use them, okay? We're going to try to go pretty quickly here, so hang with me, and if you have any questions, just let me know, okay? We'll start with save time. Well, what do you think save time means? Does that mean you do a lot of things so that you can then have more time later? For example, you get all your work done extremely efficiently in the first 2 hours of the day, and then you have the rest of the day? Usually not. Save time typically refers to doing activities that are more efficient, or doing things in a way, right, that is going to make you feel like you have more time. So it's not focused on the having more time later, although it does result in having more time later. It's focused on the specific things that you're doing, which are more efficient, right? So what activities save time? I can give you a simple example. There are things that I have in my house that are automated, that I love, that save me a lot of time. One is a litter robot. That's what it's called. Cat litter robot. It's a giant machine. Not giant, it's a machine, and it empties the cat litter, and it knows when the cats go in there, and it knows when they leave, and after they leave, it goes woo, woo, and it cleans itself. Every morning at 7 a.m., I hear dunk, 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 woo. There's a little vacuum cleaner called a Roomba that lives downstairs. Every morning, he wakes up at 7 o'clock, goes out for a smoke, he comes back, and then he spends an hour sweeping the entire floor and does a really good job. And cleans himself when he's done. His name is Pringle. And he's got a lot of personal problems, but he saves me a lot of time. Having a personal assistant like Kathy, thank you, Kathy, saves me so much time. I don't have to get coffee by myself or on my own, right? I don't have to do a lot of things because Kathy helps me with so many little tasks, right? You could talk about a tool you use. So we're emphasizing those things that make things easier for us and make us either not have to do those things, or we're able to do those things more efficiently, okay? What about have time? Have time. Well, we all have time, right? And is this about things that we're being pushed to do? How is this usually used? If you say you have time, usually that's a subjective thing, right? If someone asks you to do something or asks you a question and you say, I'm sorry, I don't have time, I'm very busy, that may be because you're so busy, you actually don't have time to answer the question or to do that thing or to help or whatever. Or it could be that you don't want to. I want to focus on what I'm doing. I don't want to answer this question. I don't want to help you right now. I don't have time. So it's interesting the way we use have time and don't have time, because it can be kind of literal, but it can also be subjective. Subjectively, I'm just saying I don't have time, not because time is such a flexible thing, and we have time based on our priorities, right? If you ask me to do everything in the universe, I certainly don't have time for that. But if you ask me to do 5 things today, I could do all 5 of those things, but I don't have time for the fifth one because I want to focus on the first four. So it's kind of flexible, right? And you can say you don't have time because you want to focus, not because you actually don't have any free time, right? If you get up and go to the bathroom and the person who asked you something who you refused before says, hey, I thought you didn't have time. You have time to go to the bathroom. You could say, yeah, priorities. My body is forcing me to go to the bathroom. Don't say that. That would be rude. But the point is that it is subjective. But then we have one that is connected to this, which is to make time. Now, again, this could be seen in two different ways. Maybe we have a very busy schedule, a lot of things to do. But the person who asks for help after we say, I'm sorry, I just don't have time, says, please, if I don't know who else to ask, I don't know who else to turn to. If I don't get help with this, I need this by tomorrow. It is so urgent. If you would just help me out with this, it would mean a lot to me, and I would owe you big time. I would be so grateful. I'll name my first child after you. Okay, I suppose I could make time. Now again, is that to say that I'm going to be canceling something that I need to work on? Maybe. Maybe I have to not write this email that I've been working on and instead focus on helping you because I'm a wonderful person. Or maybe I can do both, but I just would prefer not to because I want to focus, and I've decided to take a quick break to help you do this, to answer your question, to explain this to you, and then go back to what I was working on. So there, making time is a subjective thing. It could be that I cancel something, therefore I have more time, or it could be simply that mentally I change my priorities so that I can now fit you into that. And it might be slightly annoyed, or maybe not. Maybe I feel happy to help you once you've explained how important it is, right? If I still can't, I still no. Do you have time? I'm sorry, I don't. I'm so busy today. Please. I'm sorry. I just can't make time. Okay. So there I'm doubling down on my refusal to not help. And I'm just giving you an example here, right? But talk about your daily priorities this way. Talk about what you're working on and not able to work on this way. And often we use make time when an unexpected thing happens, and we didn't plan to do that, and then we say, okay, well, I can work around it and still get it done. So we would make time for that, okay? Now, what about spend? Is this sort of like spending money? Like we're wasting time, wasting money? Are we watching a movie? Is spending time? No, spend time is usually to talk about two slightly different things. One is simply how much time passes doing a specific activity, right? Now, one way we say that would be it takes an hour to make a souffle. I don't know how long it takes. It takes an hour. That's talking about duration, right? But if I want to generally speak about my souffle making, I might say I generally spend an hour making a souffle. Or I generally spend a few minutes each morning meditating. Okay, so spend there and take. Now, what's the difference between spend and a few minutes meditating and it takes me a few minutes to meditate? Taking a few minutes there is usually emphasizing that that's the duration of time that is required to complete the task. How long does it take to vacuum the floor? 10 minutes. How long does it take to walk a mile? 20 minutes. How long does it take to get to the city from your home? An hour. So there are limits there, right? But if I say, how long do you spend meditating? That's not really a completable task often, right? It's up to me. I could spend an hour, I could spend 5 minutes. How long do you spend exercising every day? I could exercise for an hour, I could exercise for 5 hours, right? So we often focus on things that we choose to do that we could stop at any time if we want to, and we're focusing on how much time we choose to put into those activities, right? And so the emphasis of take is more like, hey, I wish I could do it faster, but it just takes an hour. I can't drive faster or I'll get a ticket. It takes an hour to get there. Not that I spend an hour driving. There is something outside of my control there, which is the distance and the speed limit when I'm driving to the city, right? Okay. But we also use spend when we're emphasizing people, the time I almost used it, the time we put into people. It's hard for me to say it without using the word spend. To spend time usually is a good thing, meaning it's quality time that we have together with others, and we usually want to do that. I love to spend time with family. I love to spend time with friends. Spending time with you is very interesting. But you could use it in a negative. You could say, I don't really like spending time with that group of people, right? So spend is not usually used in the same way as waste. So if we waste time, that usually is the negative way to say the same thing. Spending time with friends. That's usually a good thing, right? We're using our time together to do things we want to do, family time, spending time. But if we consider that time to be lost, I wish I had not spent that time with those people, then it's wasted, right? If you ask me to answer the question and then I explain it, I spend 10 minutes answering and you say, I still don't get it, and you walk out. Maybe I feel that I've wasted my time, right? You have wasted my time. I've wasted my time. Everyone has wasted their time. My time has been wasted. So there's a negative to waste and a positive to spend, usually, okay? But what about kill? That sounds worse than waste, right? To kill time? To kill time? Jeez, why would you want to kill time? Hey, time? No. Killing time is just a neutral way of using time that is usually nothing in particular. Maybe just walking around or listening to music or playing video games. Often because we're waiting for something more important to happen. So we might say, I'm just going to kill time until we leave. I'm going to play some Fortnite to kill time before we leave. It's not that I really care about this activity of playing Fortnite. I probably won't say, I'm going to spend some time playing Fortnite before we leave. No, I'm waiting for someone to get ready. I am ready, and I have 20 minutes to kill. 20 minutes to kill. I've got 20 minutes to kill, play some Fortnite. So there, it's not a negative necessarily. It's kind of neutral. It's not emphasizing the quality of it. It's just that, hey, I have this extra time. I don't know what else to do with it, right? That's usually how kill time is used. Okay, what about lose time versus lose track of time? Okay, now these are very interesting. Why does my M have 1, 2, 3 humps? That's how M's look, all right? So to lose time is to fall behind in your life, maybe your goals, to fall behind as a parent, as a friend, to fall behind at your job, right? So maybe we're on a project and the due date is the end of the year, and we start out with one way of thinking, and after 2 weeks, we realize it's totally wrong. So we just lost time. We just lost 2 weeks. Not that it was necessarily wasted, but that we lost it because now we have to make up that time. We now have to make up that time in the next 2 weeks before the end of the year to get it done. Now on our new way of thinking. right? So to lose time is, in a way, to have it taken away from you. It's not necessarily your fault, but it might be your fault, and you kind of have to start over, or you have to catch up to where you would have been, or you have to make up that time. So maybe you were on a long-term job overseas, you had to do it for your family, your son or daughter is growing up, and you miss an entire year of their lives, and you say, I lost that time. You lost that. Now you have to maybe make up that time to spend more time with them because you feel like you missed part of their lives. You lost that time. So that's how that one is used. But then to lose track of time is more, let's say, narrow. To lose track of time is just to forget what time it was because you were very busy, right? Often we get so busy and immersed in things. We wake up from being busy and we say, oh my God, it's 9 p.m. I was supposed to go home at 6. We're so into something often that we lose track of time. Now, this could be a good thing in the sense that we love working on it. It's so fascinating. Researching this, working on this project, doing this together, whatever it is, we lost track of time. Sometimes you can use that as an excuse when someone says, hey, why are you late? You're 20 minutes late. Yeah, I'm sorry, I lost track of time. I know I was supposed to leave at 6. I left at 6:30. I just lost track of time. That's not an excuse. I'm sorry. So you might lose track of time because you were distracted, because you were immersed in something. It's not necessarily good or bad. It's just that your perception of time has sort of slipped because of something. And usually it's about time in a specific day. It might be minutes or hours, right? 30 minutes late, an hour late. Whoa, it's 7 p.m., a few hours, right? Instead of 6. Sometimes it could be used for longer durations like weeks, but I would say that's less common. You know, you go down to South America and do ayahuasca or something, and you just completely lose track of time in general. You don't know if it's been days or weeks because you're just in the jungle with a shaman and you're not really paying attention to whether it's Monday or Friday, right? So you kind of lose track of time. You could use it in that sense too. I think it's more common to use it the other way though. And last one, what about run out of time? We're running out of time. You see this in movies, right? When the clock is ticking, 10 seconds left, we're running out of time. Hurry up, and they have to defuse the bomb before it explodes. But you could talk about a deadline this way. You have to finish something within the next 2 weeks. You're running out of time. You have to prepare for something mentally, and you're not prepared yet. You're running out of time. Your book club is meeting tonight. You haven't finished the assigned reading for your book club. It's in an hour. You're running out of time. So it's not that you are late, it's that you're on pace to be late if you don't make some changes, right? So you have to hurry up. You'd better hurry up and do it. So that's generally how that's used, okay? So save time, have time, make time, spend time, waste time, kill time, lose track of time, run out of time, and make up time or make up for time. These are all very common, okay? Now, hopefully you can at least start using them and you can start recognizing them when you hear them, okay? If you have any questions about these very common time phrases, let me know in the comments. If you haven't done so already, I would appreciate if you could hit the like button and subscribe. And also feel free to check out my full courses, including my free course, Natural English Conversations, in the links in the description.